Well, that was a movie.
Hello and welcome back to Simon's Rants. I'm Simon, and today I'm giving my first thoughts on the Terrifier 3, which is, of course, the third installment, sort of, in this Terrifier franchise. Technically, there was a, short film done first that the Terrifier was based on, but whatever. Of the official Terrifier movies, there have been 3 now, and if you don't know what they are, they're about this Art the Clown who enjoys mutilating and killing people in grotesque ways. They're, shock horror films. They're known for gratuitous violence, just over-the-top shock horror, violence, slasher kind of stuff. They were extremely low budget. The first one cost something in the range of $10,000 to $20,000. The second one was about 10 times that. I think it was $100,000 to $200,000, and now this one is in the couple million range. So each one's gotten a much bigger budget, and each time it's shown in the quality of the film. So first of all, these movies aren't meant to be great art. They are, and no pun intended, Art the Clown. They are kind of mocking, those kind of horror franchises where it just, the bad guy never dies and it just keeps going and going and going, like Halloween or something like that, while being, a little bit tongue-in-cheek while doing it. But then also at the same time, there are story elements to it that are more clever than you'd expect, and more in-depth than you'd expect. If you've seen the other ones, you saw, the second one, if you're going in expecting just a fun movie about a clown killing people, you're kind of shocked by some demonic elements, some spiritual elements, and, magic and shit. and this one follows in the same vein of that, where if you're going in hoping and wishing just for a fun movie about a clown killing people, you might be disappointed. But if you are thinking it's going to be a fun, ridiculous time with a story that surprisingly isn't that bad at times, then you'll enjoy it even more. So my opinion on the franchise as a whole has been, they've been fun, they're enjoyable. They are what they are, and they're enjoyable. I will admit, the second one bored me a little bit. I thought they went on a little bit too long. The story dragged. They tried a little too hard to make it be taken seriously, and I got bored. This one, I did not feel that way at all. I did not get bored at all. And maybe it has to do with expectation, because I went into the second one. I saw the second one first. That was the first Terrifier movie I saw, and I went in not knowing all the other elements, like the spiritual elements and stuff. And so that stuff, maybe if I had been expecting it more, I wouldn't have been as bored, but I was bored by that one. I do also think there was, a little too much talking, and the plot just kept going, and, you're just waiting around for the next gory death to happen. Also, the budget mattered a lot. I think that early on in the movie, the gore was really good, and then it tapered off. It's like they used their best effects first and kind of ran out, it seemed like. I don't know if that's the case, or if I just got desensitized as the movie went on, but I had fatigue as that movie went on and kind of got bored. This one, the effects do not do that. The effects are great the whole time. In fact, they're better than the other one at any point. The best effects in the previous film are not as good as the worst effects in this one, and that is, a budget thing. The budget really helps and allows them to do more things. And I think I said this walking out to my friend who saw it with me, that this might be my favorite Terrifier movie. I'm wondering now if that's the case, because I'm thinking back to Terrifier 2, and there's some iconic moments in that one. All the moments that have been memed, like, him trying on the different glasses in the store and just goofing around. And, the way he points and laughs at people and stuff, it's all been done many times now. And so I wonder how many people are going to enjoy the gimmicks as they keep going, because I don't know if there was any moment in this movie that was as iconic as the funny moments in the second one. I will say the effects were much better, and this is the first time in I don't know how long that I've genuinely felt squeamish watching a horror movie for the gore. And so much gore it doesn't faze me at all because it's so silly looking, or you just know it's not real and you just get, like I said, desensitized to it. You either have to use it sparingly, something like Midsommar where it's not the whole movie, so when it happens it's effective. I think the gore in Midsommar is very effective. But if you're gonna do the whole movie's gore, you have to do it in a way that's creative and doesn't get boring and repetitive. And there were probably a decent amount of moments in this that people probably would have thought it was boring and repetitive or just too similar to stuff they'd done before, but by the end of the movie that was not the case at all. And I would argue it wasn't the case throughout, because I thought that the stuff that they did was different enough to make it interesting and creative enough. And so there's, like I said, there's some moments in there that I was like, oh my God, letting out an audible reaction when stuff happened. Multiple times it happened during this movie for me. And I in a demented, sadistic way, enjoyed it because it was so different and it was so creative, and it's disgusting. It really is disgusting. If this is not your kind of movie, I'm not recommending it to you. It is disgusting. I cannot say that enough. But if you like that demented, sadistic, gory horror movie and you enjoy the comedy that comes with it, where the clown, is joking about doing these things, then you're going to have a great time. To me, like I said, it might be the best one, and I want to kind of sit with it and think about it before I declare it the best one, but it might be, because not only are the effects better and the gore therefore more substantial and impactful, the story didn't bore me like the other one did, and I thought it didn't add a whole lot to the plot, but it took it in a way like that was more interesting to me than the second one was. And I was grateful for the plot, as opposed to, like, in the second one being like, it's just a means to an end. It's a reason for the runtime to be taken up. This one was like, okay, there's something happening here. We're going somewhere, and I am curious to see where we're going. At no point in the second one was I curious where I was going, other than like, well, how is this person gonna die? This movie, I was definitely thinking, how is this person gonna die? But I was also very curious to see where the plot was going to end up, and that's different. So I think, to me, that sounds like it's a better movie then. I probably should rewatch the other ones before I say that, but to me, I think it might be the best one. It's weird. It's a hard movie to talk about because, at the end of the day, as much plot as there is, it's still about people being brutally killed, so how much can you say about that other than it was done well and it was entertaining? I think it is still what it is, in the same way that it's kind of a parody of these other movies. It's very self-aware. It's very clearly, you can tell when a movie like this feels like a festival movie still. It doesn't feel like a Hollywood movie. It doesn't feel like there was any producer notes. It doesn't feel like any studio stepped in and said, hey, maybe we should do this instead. It very much feels like some guy made a movie and so he did. And I love that. Maybe some people will hate that because it doesn't feel as polished or clean, but from a creative standpoint, you're getting pure unfiltered creativity. You're not getting somebody saying, well, if we did this, more people would like it, or if we did that, it would be more appealing to a larger group of people. You're not getting any of that. You're just getting somebody saying, hey, let's make a movie that will be fun because I think it's fun. And I respect that. I enjoy that. I want to see an unfiltered expression of creativity from an artist, and that's what this was, if you want to call it art. But I do. I think it's art. I think it's enjoyable. I think it is a weird, demented version of art that will appeal to a select group of people and be absolutely wholly entertaining. So, yeah, definitely not for everybody, but I mean, people are aware of this franchise now at this point, and I think if you would know by now if this franchise is for you or not, because it's still, the budget didn't change anything really other than the quality. It's not like they've run out of ideas or the money is changing them. No, it's more of the same, but done creatively enough that it's not boring. And like I said, with a budget that allows them to do something bigger and, in my opinion, slightly better. And that's, it's still a modest budget. Like, I'm not saying this isn't $100 million production or anything. It's still a couple million or whatever it was. It's still pretty small budget in the grand scheme of things, but it's enough that it doesn't show. Like I said, the budget showed itself in the second one. There was maybe one CGI effect in this movie, maybe one prop that I went, didn't buy that, really. But it's just, that was very limited and very quick, so I think the budget only helped, and I'm grateful that this franchise has become successful and popular enough that they're able to do bigger and better things. That's exciting to me, it's filmmaking at its purest, and I know that's a weird thing to say about such a weird, demented franchise, but pure art comes in many different forms, and this, unlike so many other things we get on a daily basis, was not made on a conveyor belt, like it wasn't mass produced. This was, a passion project. It just happened to have a little bit more money involved than previously. And so, like I said, that's wonderful to me. and if you like this kind of film, maybe you won't be thinking about all those things, but I think you'll feel it. You'll feel the quality increase, you'll feel the budget increase, and you'll enjoy it for what it is, because it is a lot of fun. I will say, for me personally, there's still a little bit of fatigue when it comes to this much gore in a movie. But to me, it wasn't a fatigue of the story, and that's a difference to me. It was a fatigue of, oh my God, that's a lot to take in. I want a nap now. But it's not, man, I'm bored of this. It's, I'm overwhelmed by this. So that's a different kind of fatigue. I do want to point that out. So I enjoyed it. I don't think I'm going to get into spoilers, because really all I would do is talk about some of the gross kills and stuff. And you know what? I'm just going to let that be saved for you. It has nothing to do with me maybe getting demonetized talking about it. I want you to see it. So if you enjoy this kind of stuff, like I said, not for everybody, but if you enjoy it, go watch it. Be surprised by the absolutely brutal stuff. All I'll say is there's a part with a pipe, I guess, like a tube. That got me. That was good. There was a part in a bathroom that was really well done too. Not as shocking as the part with the tube that I was talking about. It was more just of a entertaining, that was funny, that was fun kind of thing. Same thing with Santa as well. Multiple different things were just, that was entertaining. And that's what I'm saying, is like, it takes a creative, demented mind to do this many movies now. Like, to me, I think I would, like, I write movies, I make movies, and I would struggle, I feel like, to come up with a single movie full of grotesque, gross out, demented deaths. And now they've done 3, and they've gotten more creative as they go. And it's like, you gotta respect that in a way. It's like, how do you keep coming up with this stuff? But they do, and they keep making it entertaining. I will say, oh my goodness, I completely forgot until just now. There is a part, I don't even know how to allude to this without saying it outright. Somebody is being killed. This is fairly early into the movie. Somebody's being killed, and somebody else is doing something with glass, a shard of glass. Oh, that got a visceral reaction out of me. So that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about all these moments. A lot to look forward to. If you haven't seen it yet and you're excited, get excited. You should be excited. This was a lot of fun. It's funny because I was sitting here going, is this a top 10 movie of the year? Not in my wildest dreams, not in my wildest expectations, did I think Terrifier 3 would be on the end of my year list. And I'm not saying it will be. It's borderline if it is. But the fact that I'm even considering it is crazy. That's, if you're gonna have a gross out, slasher, gory, whatever you want to call this, and it be good enough to be considered for the top 10, you did something ridiculously right. I could have just ended that sentence with, you did something ridiculous, because that's equally true. So, yeah, I've been rambling enough. That's what I had to think. What do you guys think, though? If you've seen it yet, let me know in the comments below, because I want to talk to more people about this. This movie is crazy. So, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, share, if you're new here, subscribe. Thanks, guys. Bye.